Hey guys, how you doing? See what happens with most of the beginner photographers, or in some cases even the intermediate photographers. We buy a DSLR, and in most cases we buy the DSLR with the kit lens, and most likely that kit lens is going to be 1855. Now, apart from this lens, we are not sure what lens are we supposed to buy. Either we have used this kit lens for some time already, or we have a budget for one more lens apart from kit lens. What are the primary consideration you have to do to buy that one lens after the kit lens or along with the kit lens? So you have the lenses which range from around say 5,000 to around 25 lakhs. So it really depends on your budget. So if there is no budget constraints at all, then you can go for all the best lenses in the world. But if you have a budget constraint, then I think you have to consider these steps before buying the lens. So once you know what budget you have allocated, it may go a little beyond the range or it may come within your budget, so that's a different thing, but you have to have an approximate budget. After you have decided on the budget, the next step would be to see if you have bought an APS-C crop sensor DSLR or a full frame body. Now you can search in the Google and figure out whether your DSLR body is a crop sensor DSLR or a full frame body. But to give you a hint on a high level, let me tell you, if it's 80,000 or 90,000 or above, then there is a chance that it's a full frame body. If it is less than 80,000, it's very likely a crop sensor DSLR. In most cases, the lens which will suit for crop sensor DSLRs are usually cheap, so you don't have to worry too much on that. But if you have a full frame body, then probably you'll have to think a lot about the budget and what lens you're going to buy. Also, if there is a possibility that you have a crop sensor DSLR and you are thinking of upgrading it to a full frame body, then probably you will have to consider such lenses which will go on both crop sensor and full sensor. Third point would be, please don't go to cover the entire focal length range. For example, if you have an 1855, it's not necessary that you buy 55-250 and then something like 10-20, and you don't have to cover all the possible focal lengths. Now let me tell you a personal experience. I once bought 500D Canon, and along with that obviously I got a kit lens 1855. What I thought was I'll try to cover as much focal length as possible. I got 10-20 Sigma, which is a wide angle lens, and then I got 55-250. Now with my three lenses I was able to cover the focal length of 10 to around 250 mm. So the wide angle lens was not of any use and it's still sitting there in the cupboard. So what I would suggest you is, as soon as you get a DSLR along with the kit lens, do the hands-on and then figure out where your interest lies. Maybe it's portrait photography, maybe it's macro, maybe it's landscape, maybe you're interested in travel photography. So accordingly you can decide what lens you want to use in future. The fourth consideration would be buying a zoom lens or a prime lens. So let me tell you, this is your personal choice. I mean, if you are too much into the flexibility, if you don't want to move around and you can easily zoom in and zoom out and click photos, then I think you have to go to a lens which has zoom and which has a range of focal length in them. And if you want to take images which are very crisp and sharp, you're not too worried about the flexibility part, then I think it should be prime lens for you. Because of the simplicity involved in making the prime lens, I think the prime lens definitely give better images than zoom lens. I think the fifth and the last point which you have to consider is whether to buy the lens from the same brand or a third party lens. If you have a Canon DSLR, then you can buy Sigma, Tamron, Samyang, and there are so many other third party companies which prepare lenses, and they're beautiful and definitely they are cheap. Buying the lens of the same brand as of the DSLR which you're using, that will definitely be expensive. But as far as the reviews are concerned, the autofocus systems work well when you use the same brand lens with the DSLR. Well, these are the primary considerations for those beginners or intermediate photographers who have little ideas to which lens to go for. But there are other things which you probably want to consider, like the image stabilization in the lens, and the aperture number, the build quality, weatherproofing, weight, size, etc. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any clarifications or queries, please do comment in the comment section below. Do subscribe to our channel and hit that bell button for regular updates. Thank you once again for watching. Take care.